Hello everyone, my name is Melissa Mackey and my chapter is chapter 16, Comprehension, being that my last name starts with an M. The lesson that I did with the children, I'm a kindergarten assistant, was the week before Thanksgiving break, and I actually did a lesson on living and non-living organisms. And for the comprehension portion, I read the students a book on Is It Living? Was the title of the book, and it was a ebook that I read on the smartboard for the students while they were on the carpet. For the comprehension portion, I used factorizing questions to aid in comprehension, the children generating answer relationships and questions, and some 21st century struggles that students have, which would being reflecting back to the ebook if needed and reviewing some of the information that was given. For the comprehension part and the worksheet that I had a color all of the living things, which they thought was really fun. And we did this as a whole group on the carpet with clipboards and pencils. And we simply went and X'd out the organisms that were non-living. As an assessment, we did a lot living and non-living sorting. And this was just basically something that we had reviewed as a whole by doing sorting on the smartboard. Also, I made some nice little flashcards, and they just simply say, does it grow and change? Reflecting back to the information that the book gave us. Does it reproduce? Does it need food and water? Can it move on its own? Is it made of cells? And all of this is information that the book discussed on actual living things. If these things didn't coexist with items like, or objects, I guess I should say, like a basketball or an apple. We also talked about that. The apple was living as long as it was on the tree. But once we picked the apple, it became food and it was no longer living. But it is made up of cells, but it does not move on its own. We also, another object would have been a book. And we just simply, I drew on the smartboard and on a flip chart. And one side was living and one side was non-living. And the students reflected together as a whole group. And they raised their hand for questioning on sorting, whether it was correct or non-correct. I think the lesson overall went really well. I do struggle with technology, but I am getting a little bit better. I think that would be my weakness, is technology, and I'm not very good at video and all either. But I know as time goes by, hopefully I will get better. Let me think of what else. I also brought in a live frog as an example of a living organism and some live earthworms. And for the non-living examples to compare, I brought in gummy worms and gummy frogs. It was a really good lesson. The kids really enjoyed it. I enjoyed teaching it. Some of them were a little afraid of the frogs, but I think it was a nice demonstration to have something that was actually living that they could pass around with assistance and touch it and talk about it and really understand and comprehend the reading of the information that was given to them. Overall, I think they did a really good job on comprehending what the information that they were given. Usually in the classroom, we work on story charts and we'll go over who the characters are, what the setting, the time, and the place, because it is kindergarten. And what happened first, next, and last in the story, because they are assessed on that. And overall, they do a wonderful job. I hope you guys have a wonderful holidays, and thank you.